Tonight on NewsWatch 12 at 6, Interstate 5 continues to be impacted as extreme weather closes roads across our region. And the community is left cleaning up the damage from the bomb cyclone, with some being luckier than others.
And travel impacts aren't over. Tracking more rain, snow, and wind tonight into tomorrow. It stays very active through the rest of this week. I'll break down that forecast coming up, but first.
Watching out for you. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
A windy, wet winter storm causing major disruptions in southern Oregon and northern California. You're looking at some of the damage across our region. I-5 remains closed tonight over Siskiyou Summit and through Mount Shasta City. Many are struggling through this storm's impacts. We want to thank you for joining us tonight for NewsWatch 12 at 6. I'm Haley Gravitt. Snow and gusty winds will continue to impact travel in our higher elevations tonight. Let's get an update on what we can expect out on the roads. We want to turn over to Storm Watch 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for the latest updates with the storm, Matt.
Yeah, Haley, those snow impacts mainly going to be above 3,500 feet. You can see the snow still coming down in Mount Shasta, Klamath Falls. Folks there driving slow with snowy roads, and we're just seeing plain rain in Medford and Talon as this atmospheric river continues to impact southern Oregon and northern California. So we have a winter storm warning remaining in place in southeast Siskiyou County. This includes Mount Shasta through 10 p.m. Snow levels will, though, be rising overnight and then into tomorrow, but still going to see some impacts through the Cascades and Siskiyous and on the east side above 4,500 feet, where we have a winter weather advisory in place until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then western Siskiyou County above 3,500 feet, we also have a winter weather advisory, that going until 10 o'clock tonight. But those snow levels will be going up as we head into tomorrow, eventually, especially by tomorrow afternoon, getting above all of our higher passes in the region. So that's going to improve travel, but we're going to be more concerned about flooding as excessive rain and runoff will be a concern as we get those higher snow levels and start melting some of this big snowpack. But you can see widespread rain and snow out there tonight in these deeper blues. That's where we're seeing some heavy snowfall, all thanks to this same big, strong cyclone, that bomb cyclone that rapidly strengthened yesterday and last night, bringing some very strong winds to the region as well. It will stay a little bit gusty tonight in some of our higher terrain, rain and snow continuing across the region and higher elevations dealing with those snow impacts. But snow levels rise tomorrow. That's going to improve travel conditions, including up at Siskiyou Summit and through the Mount Shasta area. But we're going to be more concerned about flooding as the rain continues and we start seeing more of that runoff. I'll talk more about where a flood warning has been issued. We'll also take a look at the road conditions right now coming up in just a bit.
Matt, thank you. And yesterday's storm ripped through our region, leaving behind significant damage with wind gusts reaching up to 80, some areas even 89 miles per hour. In the wake of the storm, many are now assessing the destruction of their home and properties. NewsWatch 12's Samantha Kadira has more on the family that was fortunate to escape a major disaster. Sam.
All these branches are from this tree right here. Now, earlier this morning, this gigantic branch was hanging dangerously close to the house right behind me. Luckily, it didn't hit the house or the trees. This family was super lucky. I did speak to the owner of this house and they said the sound of that branch coming down was undescribable. Now, a lot of people felt a lot of the damage from the storms, but some may have not been as lucky. Now take a look.
Social media was flooded with people sharing the damage to their properties, with well over 100 comments from residents reporting similar devastation. One of the more scary stories comes from Gold Beach, where Deborah Campbell was inches away from disaster when an enormous tree fell onto her home.
I heard this enormous crack. This tree came down actually right outside the wall I was sitting against. It was pretty much over my head, but I was so sure that I was dying in that moment, just positive that that was it. I've never been that scared in my life.
Though Deborah's roof was damaged, she's lucky the tree didn't come through to the inside of the house.
I don't know how to explain that. Like a sonic boom will vibrate everything, but I know it wasn't that. It was the loud noise paired with the fact that it hit the ground that made everything vibrate.
However, she's now left facing the difficult task of figuring out how to deal with the damage, especially since her insurance won't cover it due to the drastic size of the tree.
It has a lot of damage on the roof, but the tree didn't come through to the inside. So yeah, I don't know. It's certainly not safe to stay here. It just looks like any moment it could just go ahead and fall in.
Such a scary situation over in Gold Beach and here. Thankfully, this tree didn't fall on their house, and that's not as lucky as some other people. And most of us are still feeling effects of this crazy storm. But for now, reporting in Phoenix, Samantha Cadera at NewsWatch 12.
So the city's ability to call a severe weather shelter is predicated on having the resources. So one of those is a service provider, one of those is a space. We are currently in discussion with several partners to try to make that happen for this time before January 1.
In a follow-up tonight, Ashland is searching for a new severe weather shelter and a new organization to run it. But under increasing pressure by locals, a group of community members is pushing to help their unhoused neighbors. NewsWatch 12's Leave column shows us how.
Ashland's severe weather shelter at 2200 Ashland Street still closed due to fire code violations. The city is looking for two elements to keep unhoused residents warm: a suitable building and a provider to operate it.
We do not have the resources. Like I said last night, if you have an organization who has space and is interested in partnering with the city, please contact the city manager's office.
A group of locals saying a shelter would do just fine under their care, pointing to years of volunteering and a makeshift shelter they created in Mayor Tanya Graham's workspace.
I've had people say, where can I bring clothes? Where can I bring blankets? Where can I bring food? You know, it's nice to know there are people who want to step up and help.
But as the search for space continues, the shelter is running out of room.
10 to 12 people is all they're allowed in there. And we have over 100 homeless in our community. So I don't know what's happening with them, if they're going to be safe or not.
City Manager Sabrina Cotta now reaching out to faith-based groups for the use of a building and opening up the search to the community. The 2200 Ashland Street shelter can operate for 90 days with fire guards next year. In Ashland, Leave column, NewsWatch 12.
And southbound Interstate 5 highway traffic is backed up for miles at Ashland today, where I-5 lanes closed because of weather conditions in Northern California. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office currently warning drivers to not take GPS detours, as these directions are leading several drivers into deep snow. NewsWatch 12's Jerry Howard is out on I-5 near Phoenix, tracking the major closure for us. Jerry, how do drivers react to the closing down of I-5?
Well, Haley, you know, we came to Phoenix about 10 miles further north from where our last live shot was, because traffic is backing up into the Rogue Valley. Now, not all along Interstate. We're at a pair of truck stops here, side by side at exit 24, that are just jammed full of tractor trailers, truckers, drivers who know they can't go further south than Ashland. Now, most of the drivers we talked to today seem to be making the most of their downtime on their drive that otherwise would be going to California. But it's those weather conditions in Siskiyou County that are causing the I-5 southbound closure in Ashland. Now, Caltrans District 2 shared images today showing conditions of I-5 southbound there near Weed. They show whiteout conditions. They're caused by, of course, heavy snow and blowing wind that's leaving deep snow on the road, stranding autos. There's even a tractor trailer that's overturned on its side over a guardrail. Caltrans is asking people to take tire chains and use them when instructed. And drivers we came across today might also advise taking warm clothes and a pillow too. So you are stranded in traffic here?
Been since the 2 in the morning, yeah.
When southbound Interstate 5 highway traffic backed up for miles at Ashland, it stopped drivers and their plans.
Visit family, and then I come back like this.
Did you expect this? And you're from Washington?
Yes.
Well, what were you planning to do today?
We were going down to watch the underground fast pitch team play Southern California tournament.
A few of these drivers travel I-5 south regularly, aware of its weather closures. So is this a surprise?
Not really. I told my friend here, Mike, I told him 4 or 5 times, I've been stuck here for 2 days at one point about 15 years ago. So I think I made this happen.
I mean, I never had a closure before, yeah.
So do you have chains for your truck?
No, I don't.
You're going to get them?
I was trying to on the pallet, but apparently they only sell for semi-trucks.
When ODOT closed I-5 because of whiteout conditions in Northern California, neither ODOT nor Caltrans had an estimated time for reopening the road, which it expected to be a long-term closure.
We don't got any estimated time about being open or if we're going to be open today or even later tonight.
Right now, we're just going to wait it out. I mean, we'll see. I imagine the Department of Transportation will get it cleared. They'll get everybody moving at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for people driving this route?
Well, check the weather before come.
Would you rather be somewhere else?
Yeah. I want to go now. Can I?
But drivers certainly can check KDRV.com, where we're tracking I-5 southbound here for its reopening. And of course, Trip Check has that update when that information comes as well. The road has been closed southbound at Ashland today, and it looks like it could be a long-term closure, as ODOT and Caltrans both have advised. Meanwhile, Caltrans is busy in Siskiyou County with I-5 and other roads there. Watching out for you and reporting live in Phoenix, Jerry Howard, NewsWatch 12. Haley?
Jerry, thank you. And Caltrans has a list of road closures in Northern California. Let's take a look at some of these weather closures. Southbound Interstate 5 is closed at Edgewood, about 21 miles south of Wairika. Northbound I-5 is closed at Fawndale, 10 miles north of Redding. State Route 3 closed at Scott Mountain. State Route 299 also blocked at Hat Creek Grade. And State Route 299 blocked at Mountain Road. The northbound lane of State Route 89 is blocked just north of Lake Britton, and southbound lanes of US 97 are closed just south of McDowell. Now, those road conditions are constantly changing. Let's check back in with Stormwatch 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman to see what road conditions drivers can expect. Matt.
Not great out there in our higher elevations. Also, just getting word of another closure on Oregon 62 milepost 46 to 58 because of a disabled vehicle. This is up towards the Union Creek area, just before Union Creek. And you can head to KDRV.com. We have all a look there at the road closures. We have Oregon 66, 273 also closed because of this winter storm. We're taking a look here at I-5 through the Mount Shasta area, closed, and you can still see at Black Butte those snow-covered roads. We do expect snow levels to go up, though, as we head into tomorrow. That should help crews hopefully open back I-5 as we head into tomorrow, but we'll keep an eye on things for you. Siskiyou County, I-5, Highway 89, just snow-packed. Also along 89 at Snowman's Summit. Be sure you have those chains. The Cascades and Siskiyou's also dealing with some very difficult travel out there tonight. That's going to continue overnight and then into tomorrow morning as the snow continues. Snow levels will likely make it above all of our passes as we go throughout the day tomorrow. East of the Cascades, snow having a big impact on travel along Highway 97 from Klamath Falls through Chemult. And you can, again, get more details on road conditions on KDRV.com. You can see road conditions throughout Oregon and California and get updates on as well as snow chain requirements as well. We'll take another look at the forecast, though, coming up, Haley, in just a bit.
Thank you, Matt. And Curry County saw gusty winds reaching 80 to 90 miles per hour in areas like Port Orford and Gold Beach. Curry County Aquatic Safety says it was the strongest gusts they've had all season. Trees were down, causing power outages that the utility workers are still working to fix for us tonight. There wasn't too much damage to homes, but the shoreline took a hit.
You can see behind me, there is no beach. It just goes from dunes to shoreline. So I just want to make sure people are educated on that and staying clear of that, staying high and dry.
Martinez says to keep an eye on flooding, especially with all the rain that's expected over the next couple of days. Rivers like the Chetco might be reaching flood stage, and some small streams are likely to overflow onto the roads. The county has signs up at popular spots like the Visitor Center and Kissing Rock, warning people to stay off of the beach. There it is. I love that sound because it reminds us that NewsWatch 12 has seen a lot of the community already getting in the holiday spirit. So how about the spirit of giving to our Stuff the Truck campaign? NewsWatch 12 and Ray's Food Place are looking for donations to help stuff an entire semi-truck full of groceries to families in need this holiday season. Ray's customers donated 500 bags of groceries in the first week of this campaign, but we need to average out about 700 or 800 bags a week to reach our goal. All Ray's Food Place stores are participating in this food drive where you can buy a $25 bag at checkout. Donors also can make a donation online at kdrv.com.